Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this press briefing. Let's begin our conversation. Siddhant.
Hi, sir. Siddhant from WION. We have seen a lot of protests in Pakistan, occupied Kashmir. There are reports of deaths as well. The internet remains restricted. Any reaction by the Indian government?
Madhu.
सर मेरा सवाल पीओजेके को लेकर है, जहां पर लगातार देखा जा रहा है कि प्रोटेस्ट मुजफ्फराबाद की तरफ बढ़ रहा है, लेकिन जिस तरह से ह्यूमन राइट वायलेशंस हो रहे हैं, जिस तरह से पाकिस्तान के रेंजर्स गोलियां चला रहे हैं, लोग मारे जा रहे हैं, जाहिर तौर पे हमारा हिस्सा है। क्या कंसर्न्स हमारे हैं और क्या कोई एक्शन, क्या कोई स्टेप्स भारत की सरकार ले रही है?
प्रणय।
सर दो सवाल हैं। पहला तो मधुरेंद्र के सवाल को ही आगे बढ़ाना चाहूँगा। पीओजेके को लेकर हमारा स्टेटस क्या है? वो भारत का हिस्सा है। वहाँ के लोगों को लेकर भारत क्या मानता है और ऑफिशियल स्टेटस उस पर बताइएगा। दूसरी चीज़ ये कि कनाडा के अंदर एक फिल्म स्क्रीनिंग के दौरान, भारतीय एक हिंदी फिल्म स्क्रीनिंग के दौरान वहाँ पर हिंसा हुई है और उसके बाद फिल्म की स्क्रीनिंग को बंद किया गया है। कनाडा के अंदर हमारे तमाम रिश्ते अच्छे होने के बावजूद इस तरीके की घटनाएं हो रही हैं। साथ ही कनाडा ने हाल ही में बिश्नोई गैंग को जो है टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन घोषित किया है। जो 26 एक्सट्रेडिशन रिक्वेस्ट थी, उनका लेटेस्ट अभी स्टेटस क्या है?
Aditya.
So Aditya Raj called from NDTV. Firstly, on the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir only, but there are more than a dozen people who've been killed. A lot of human rights violations. Also, there's a long march that's happening from Kotli to Muzaffarabad. So what is the Indian government's reaction to the subjugation that's happening there? Second, recently India won the Asia Cup match and we had Mohsin Naqvi, the interior minister, refusing to give the trophy to the Indian cricket team. How does India look at it? Will India diplomatically raise the issue somehow with Pakistan?
Sahil.
Sir, I'm Sahil Pandey from ANI News Agency. Sir, Bangladesh Home Advisor Jahangir Alam Chaudhary has said the violence in Kagrachari happened with the support from India and the fascist group. Any response from your side? Thank you.
यही सवाल है क्या ब्रह्म आपका भी? दूसरा है पाकिस्तान पे है तो बता दीजिए, बोलिए।
सर ब्रह्म प्रकाश जी न्यूज़ से मेरा सवाल है। सर अभी रक्षा मंत्री ने सरक्रिक को लेकर जो कहा है कि पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर के पास जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना रहा है, तो क्या जानकारी, क्या डिटेल है, कितना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पाकिस्तान ने क्रिएट किया है और क्या इस मामले को डिप्लोमेटिक तरीके से भी भारत उठा रहा है? थैंक यू।
Okay, first, Siddhant, coming to your question, we have seen reports on protests in several areas of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, including brutalities by Pakistani forces on innocent civilians. We believe that it is a natural consequence of Pakistan's oppressive approach and systemic plundering of resources from these territories, which remain under its forcible and illegal occupation. Pakistan must be held accountable for its horrific human rights violations. हमने पाकिस्तान के कब्ज़े वाले जम्मू कश्मीर के कई एक इलाकों में विरोध प्रदर्शनों की रिपोर्टें देखी हैं, जिनमें पाकिस्तानी बलों द्वारा निर्दोष नागरिकों पर किए गए अत्याचार भी शामिल हैं। हमारा मानना है कि पाकिस्तान के दमनकारी रवैये और इन क्षेत्रों से संसाधनों की संगठित लूट का स्वाभाविक नतीजा है और इन क्षेत्रों पर उसका जबरन व अवैध कब्ज़ा अभी भी बना हुआ है। पाकिस्तान को अपने भयानक मानवाधिकार उल्लंघनों के लिए जवाबदेह ठहराना जाना चाहिए। मधुरेंद्र, इससे आपका सवाल का जवाब मैंने दे दिया है। प्रणय, आपका सवाल भी इसी के इर्द गिर्द था। जहाँ तक जम्मू कश्मीर और लद्दाख का सवाल है, ये भारत के अभिन्न अंग है, रहेंगे ही, हमेशा से रहें। वहाँ के ये जो क्षेत्र है हमारा अभिन्न अंग है। हाँ, तो इसमें जहाँ तक आपका सवाल बिश्नोई गैंग को लेके है, देखिए अभी हाल ही में 18 तारीख को हमारे अपने राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा सलाहकार की मुलाकात कनाडा के राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा सलाहकार से हुई थी। इसके बारे में मैंने आप लोगों को अवगत कराया था। दोनों पक्षों के बीच में अच्छी बातचीत हुई कि किस प्रकार से द्विपक्षीय मुद्दों पर, खासकर आतंकवाद के खिलाफ, ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम के खिलाफ दोनों देश काम कर सकते हैं, और साथ ही साथ किस प्रकार से जो सुरक्षा सहयोग दोनों देशों के बीच में चल रहा है उस पर और मजबूती कैसे लाया जा सकता है। इस मुद्दे पर और सारे इन सभी मुद्दों पर दोनों देशों के बीच में, दोनों पक्षों के बीच में लगातार संपर्क बना हुआ है। The National Security Advisor had a meeting with National Security and Intelligence Advisor of Canada, Ms. Nathalie Drouin, on 18th of September 2025. I had given you details of this particular meeting, as also there was a press release, if I am not wrong. Both sides had held productive discussions as to how we can strengthen bilateral cooperation, especially in the areas of counterterrorism, transnational organized crime, and information or intelligence exchanges. They agreed to strengthen security cooperation and further enforce existing mechanisms of engagement. Both sides remain in touch on all these issues. Aditya, on your question on Pakistan occupied Kashmir, I have already answered it. On the question of regarding Asia Cup, I think it's a question which you must take to BCCI. They would be in a better position to answer. Sahil, your question regarding some of the allegations that were made in Bangladesh, we categorically reject these false and baseless allegations. The interim government of Bangladesh, as you are aware, and we've spoken about it on several occasions, is unable to maintain law and order situation in the country and has this habit of routinely trying to shift the blame elsewhere. It would do well for them to introspect and conduct serious investigations into the action of local extremists committing violence, arson and land grab against the minority communities in the Chittagong Hill Tract. जो कुछ बयान बांग्लादेश की तरफ से आया था, ये बिल्कुल निराधार है और हम इसको खारिज करते हैं। अंतरिम सरकार, जैसा कि मैंने पहले भी बताया आपको, कि वहाँ पर कानून व्यवस्था को सुरक्षित करने में, संभालने में कमी रही है उनकी तरफ से, और जब भी ऐसा होता है तो देखा गया है कि वो दूसरे के ऊपर ये दोष ठहराते हैं। हमारा ये मानना है कि उनकी तरफ से कुछ इंट्रोस्पेक्शन होना चाहिए, और जो लोग इसके पीछे वहाँ हिंसा करने में और भी वारदातें जो वहाँ होती हैं, जबरन ज़मीन दखल करने के पीछे जो भी लोग हैं, जो भी एक्सट्रीमिस्ट लोग हैं, उनके खिलाफ कड़ी से कड़ी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। और ये सब जितने जिस क्राइम की मैंने बात की, हिंसा की बात की, वहाँ पर जो अल्पसंख्यक समुदाय के लोग हैं चिटगांव हिल ट्रैक्ट्स में, उनके खिलाफ होता रहा है। ब्रह्म सर्किट के मामले में अभी कुछ ही घंटों पहले मैंने देखा कि आपने भी देखा होगा, हमारे एयरफोर्स चीफ और हमारा आर्मी चीफ ने बातें की हैं इस पर, तो उन्होंने जो स्पष्टीकरण दिया उसके आगे मैं कुछ नहीं कहना चाहता हूँ इस पर। इसी
This is Yeshi Seli from Business India. Afghanistan's foreign minister is expected to come to Delhi next week. Are there going to be conversations around the Bagram airport? Also, is Prime Minister Keir Starmer expected to visit Delhi this month?
Megha?
Sir, a related question. when the foreign minister arrives of Afghanistan, Taliban arrives over here in India in the next 2 weeks, is India also going to raise concerns about this temporary blackout that was imposed with regards to telecom and internet? And my second question about the resumption of flights that is happening late October between India and China. Are there more such actions that are likely to happen for resumption of normalization of ties between India and China, whether it is people to people or trade?
Asli?
Just adding to the question on the visit of the Afghan Taliban regime's interim foreign minister, is India considering shifting its position on recognition of the Taliban regime in line with what Moscow has done, given that you are now inviting him as an honored guest to Delhi? And will India raise issues of the treatment of minorities, the treatment of women and girls who aren't allowed to go to school in Kabul while he's here? I just also wanted to ask about whether the MEA has a statement on the US White House's Gaza plan, and if there is any conversation between Delhi and Washington about a role for India in the reconstruction.
Smita?
Smita Sharma. On the Gaza peace plan, we saw that initial reaction by Prime Minister Modi on a tweet, but there's a severe criticism that's coming in also from large sections of people saying this looks more like a real estate project, really not about Palestinian people. Questions being raised about Mr. Tony Blair with a very controversial past being in that board. Does India have a different view now that some time has passed of the fine print and the details that have emerged in that peace plan?
विजयलक्ष्मी?
सर विजयलक्ष्मी हूँ इंडिया टीवी से। सर आसियान समिट में डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को बुलाया है अमेरिका के राष्ट्रपति को, क्या कोई बायलैटरल बातचीत भारत और अमेरिका के बीच में वहाँ पर संभव है?
Okay, Yeshi, first to your question regarding the visit of Foreign Minister of Afghanistan. All of you would have seen the exemption that has been granted by the UN Security Council Committee for the travel of Afghan Foreign Minister to New Delhi from 9 to 15th of October 2025, 16th of October 2025. This particular information is there in the public domain. We shall keep you updated in regard to in this regard. On the visit that you talked about, the UK Prime Minister, we'll make an announcement at the appropriate time. Megha, your question on the question of the visit of Afghan Foreign Minister, I've already answered. To your question about the flight to China, yesterday we had issued a press release, and thereafter I understand that commercial activity in this regard have started. This is of course in line with the growing trend towards normalization in the relationship between India and China.
And also,
on that, I already answered your question. What I had to answer. Firstly, again on Muttaqi's visit, I have conveyed what I had to. I told you about the exemption that has been granted by the UN Security Council Committee for his travel to New Delhi, and we shall keep you updated in this regard. On Gaza plan, we have welcomed, as you would have seen, the Prime Minister has welcomed the peace plan announced by President Trump. On Smita, again, your Gaza peace plan, again, we have welcomed the plan, and that is where we are. विजयलक्ष्मी, आसियान समिट अभी कुछ दूरी पे है, कुछ देर बाद है, तो आपको सही समय पर और उचित समय पर हम लोग आपको जानकारी देंगे किस प्रकार का हमारी भागीदारी होगी उस शिखर सम्मेलन में. हुमा?
I'm Huma Siddiqui from Stat News Global. I have recently EM had a meeting with the CELAC countries on the sidelines of UNGA, and he mentioned in his post on the Twitter that critical minerals and space cooperation along with other issues were discussed. Can you please share some more details about it?
Okay.
Good afternoon, Elena TASS News Agency. My question is on Russian-Indian relations in the backdrop of yesterday's speech by Russian president at international forum in Sochi. He, in his speech, in his answers to questions from the audience, highlighted the vast potential between India and Russia cooperation in economic cooperation. At the same time, he pointed at these hurdles which exist, like payment issues, logistics. So how do you see how to address these issues, especially when we are waiting for Russian president in India? And today also is the 25th jubilee, 25th anniversary of declaration on strategic partnership between India and Russia. So please some comment on this big jubilee.
Okay. Abhishek?
Sir, just wanted to know whether India sought travel exemption for Muttaqi's India visit from UNSC.
Okay. Raghavendra?
This is Raghavendra Verma from German television ZDF. My question regarding President Putin's same statement, he added something extra saying that Indian public would not allow the political leadership to do something which is not good for the country. And there are two other things so regarding the Russia, the news about the Russian engines for the planes, fighter planes in Pakistan, and an oil tanker detained in Europe bringing Russian oil to India. Can you comment on this, sir?
Kadambini?
कादम्बिनी शर्मा, इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिस्ट। अफगानिस्तान के तालिबान के जो अंतरिम विदेश मंत्री आने वाले हैं, तो क्या उनको वही प्रोटोकॉल, वही कर्टसीज एक्सटेंड किए जाएंगे जो एक रिकग्नाइज्ड गवर्नमेंट के होते हैं?
Okay. So, Huma, first CELAC, India-CELAC meeting. Let me tell you, the 7th India-CELAC meeting or expanded Troika meeting, foreign ministers meeting was held in New York on 26 September. The expanded Troika includes Colombia, which is the current chair of CELAC, Honduras, which is the immediate past chair of CELAC, Uruguay, the next chair of CELAC, as also Jamaica, which is the current chair of CARICOM. From our side, obviously, External Affairs Minister participated in the meeting. This format meeting has been going on for over a decade now, if I'm not wrong, since 2012. Almost 22 countries participated in this India-CELAC meeting. They discussed several issues. Most of the countries come from the global south, or all of the countries come from the global south. So therefore, naturally, the conversation also centered around how we can strengthen the voice of global south in multilateral institution. Even as the leaders, they talked about reform of multilateral institutions. Other areas of collaboration such as trade and investment, health cooperation, digital public infrastructure. There is a lot of interest in India's experience in this regard. Health, pharmaceuticals, science and technology, connectivity, infrastructure development, all these issues were discussed. Also, we extend capacity building cooperation and programs to several of these countries, including through our ITEC program. That was also discussed, and both sides, India and CELAC members, they want to strengthen this partnership within the rubric of South-South solidarity and Global South solidarity. Education and several other aspects of capacity building programs were also discussed. External Affairs Minister, on his part, he thanked CELAC countries for all the support that they have extended to India within the United Nations, as also at several multilateral forums. He also thanked them for the unequivocal support that we received following the terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir in April this year. We also invited all these countries to join India's initiatives such as the International Big Cat Alliance, Global Biofuels Alliance, and the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. So that was an update on India-CELAC meeting. Elena, to your question, yes, today is a special day, 3rd of October. On 3rd October 2000, we established India-Russia Strategic Partnership. So today we are celebrating 25 years of this special partnership. India-Russia, we enjoy a special and privileged strategic partnership. We look forward to strengthening these ties, and we want to strengthen each and every segment that we are together working on: trade issues, economic issues, investment issues, defense relations, so on and so forth, science and technology. Both sides are committed. We look forward to strengthening our economic ties, as you pointed out, and we look forward to further building on our ties with Russia. Abhishek, on your question, you would have seen that the UN Security Council committee, they have given an exemption for the foreign minister to travel to New Delhi. Raghavendra, on energy sourcing, our position is very clear as to what is our broad approach, and I have been talking about it on several occasions. So I would refer you to my comments made in that regard. On the oil tanker, I think you will have to, I have also seen reports on this, you will have to take your question to people, the authorities who are involved in it. So they will be in a better position to answer your question. Kadambani, आपका सवाल अफ़गानिस्तान के अंतरिम सरकार के जो विदेश मंत्री है उनको लेके है। जैसा कि मैंने कहा, उनको इजाज़त दी गई है सुरक्षा परिषद के कमेटी द्वारा नई दिल्ली की यात्रा करने के लिए, और इस मामले में जब भी मेरे पास और कुछ कहने को होगा, आपको बताने के लिए होगा, उससे आपसे ज़रूर साझा करेंगे। Enjoy.
Sir, is a 2+2 with Australia, in Australia, likely to happen shortly? And if so, what are the issues that are going to be discussed?
Rathi?
सर, मैं यूएनआई वार्ता से संजीव राठी। भारत और चीन के बीच जो बातचीत का दौर चला है, कजान से लेकर फिर दिल्ली में और फिर तियानजिन में, अब कल फिर सीधी उड़ान सेवा का मार्ग भी प्रशस्त हुआ है, क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि दोनों देशों के बीच संबंध सामान्य हो गए हैं?
देवी।
Hi, sir. Devi Rupa from The Wire. I just want to ask a question that Pranay had asked about the Bishnoi gang. You had said that the answer was basically that the NSA had met with Canada's, his Canadian counterpart 10 days earlier. So was this discussed? Was this brought up in the discussions? Is that the implication of your answer? And also that you mentioned that India and Canada will obviously have deeper interaction on counter-terrorism. So if Canada has declared Bishnoi gang as a terror organization, have they asked for any help from India?
Okay, Manas.
Hi, this is Manas from PTI. Just wanted to check with you actually on whether India was briefed before the Gaza peace plan was finalized, either by the US side or the Israeli side, because India has been consistently calling for peace and stability in the region.
Okay. Okay, you can. Oh, you have a question there. Sorry. Yeah.
Hello, it is Banna from Matthew Daily. There is an allegation from the CPIM Rajya Sabha party leader John Brittas that India is exporting drones to Israel to kill the Gaza children. What's your comment on that?
Okay. So, Srinjoy, on 2+2 with Australia, I don't have an update to share with you, but for sure I'll inform you in this regard what is the latest. संजीव, जहाँ तक भारत चीन के रिश्तों का सवाल है, कल जैसा कि आपने बताया, कल से दोनों देशों के बीच में नागरिक उड्डयन के क्षेत्र में एक कदम आगे लिया गया है। जैसे हम लोगों ने प्रेस विज्ञप्ति के द्वारा आपको इस पे जो अपडेट है उसको बताया है, और जैसा कि हमने कहा है कि ये जो एग्रीमेंट हुआ है दोनों देशों के बीच में, कुछ महीनों में चल रहा था कि हम आपसी दोनों देशों के लोगों के बीच में आपसी तालमेल कैसे बढ़ाएं, गठजोड़ को कैसे बढ़ाएं, तो इससे दोनों देशों को फ़ायदा होगा। लोग वहाँ आएंगे, लोग यहाँ जाएंगे, टूरिज़्म को बढ़ावा मिलेगा, उसके अलावा बिज़नेस को भी बढ़ावा मिलेगा, आवाजाही और रिश्ते और भी एक पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन में चल रहे हैं, उसमें और भी हम आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे। Devi, on Bishnoi gang, I told you that India, Canada has a lot of issues to discuss when it comes to bilateral cooperation, and within that, security cooperation is also an important item and agenda of continuous bilateral collaboration. As I said, that transnational organized crime is a particular concern to both countries, and both countries and all countries, in fact, in the world must come together to fight this menace. Manas, on the Gaza peace plan announced by President Trump, yes, we have welcomed it, and please, I don't have any more details to share, but to say that we would like other stakeholders, all concerned, to come together and strengthen this effort so that there can be, the conflict comes to an end and there is enduring peace in the place. On a question on Israel question, our position is very clear where we stand, and we have been clear and consistent in this regard. You had anything to Suhasini? Any question, Smita?
A follow-up on Devi Rupa's Bishnoi question. Whether the India-Canada talks are now also discussing the trial in the US, because the latest documents filed by the US Department of Justice say that show that there is Mr. Vikas Yadav, who's in Indian custody. It says they plan the killings to suppress Sikh separatist activities. Said the motive dovetails with the fact that he's an employee of the government of India. This is in their documents, and that explains why he did not want to plan the killing of Mr. Panun around the time of Prime Minister Modi's visit to the US. It seems the US Department of Justice is very clearly pinpointing Mr. Yadav working as an employee of the government of India. I wanted to know whether this has been discussed with the Canadian authorities as well, because the US Department of Justice says both trials are now are about assassination plots by the same people.
I just needed one clarification. Is the Indian government addressing Mr. Muttaqi as foreign minister or interim foreign minister? Because there is, and does India have a view of the interception of activists from more than 40 countries on the global Sumut flotilla by Israeli forces, arresting them, detaining them, because these activists have been sailing towards Gaza with aid material, including baby formula, for the mass starvation happening in Gaza?
So, Suhasini, on India-Canada cooperation, security cooperation, I have informed you all that is happening. We've also talked about the discussion that happened between the NSAs of the two countries when we had the last meeting between them here in New Delhi. So that is where it is. On Muttaqi's visit, yes, he is the foreign minister of Afghanistan. And on Israel, I don't want to repeat all that I have been saying all along, what is our position on Israel. So I would request you to refer to our position, consistent and clear position on this particular matter. With नीरज, हाँ बताइए.
हेलो सर, नीरज हूँ न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से. हालांकि आपने बताया है कि अफगानिस्तान के विदेश मंत्री के दौरे पे अपडेट करेंगे, लेकिन सवाल यह है कि पिछली बार जो अफगानिस्तान में तालिबान सरकार थी उससे हमने कोई संपर्क नहीं रखा था, और मौजूदा जो तालिबान सरकार है इसके साथ विदेश मंत्री ने भी बातचीत की है वहाँ के विदेश मंत्री से फ़ोन पे. सवाल यह है कि मौजूदा तालिबान सरकार को रिकॉग्नाइज करने के लिए भारत के कंडीशंस क्या क्या हैं?
तो जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया कि सुरक्षा परिषद ने एक उनको अनुमति दी है दिल्ली आने के लिए, और इस पे जो आगे और जो डेवलपमेंट होंगे, जो और अपडेट होगा, उसको मैं आपको साझा करूँगा. So, we have been having conversation with the interim government in Afghanistan. You would have seen the telecon that had taken place some time back between External Affairs Minister and Foreign Minister Muttaqi. As also, we've had conversation between the Joint Secretary in charge and his counterparts in the Afghan side. Recently, when the earthquake happened, the same day we were able to transport relief material to Kunar province, and subsequently we sent more relief material via Chabahar. So, as I told you, that we will keep you updated with the developments that will happen in this regard, in regard to the visit. Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy weekend.